Good morning, Illumineers, and welcome to my very first Set Champs episode, number 1. I'm actually super stoked for January and the upcoming Set Championships. I hopefully can do more than just one. I would like to do 3 if possible. It would be my first time going into Set Champs, and I have zero expectations, mostly just because I am super interested in just learning on how the competitive meta actually looks, what the competitive meta actually looks like for my area and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go through the deck list that I'm gonna run with you guys and just kind of give my hopeful predictions on matchups and just talk about that, and then I'll give you an update after the first one happens on January 3rd. This deck list is the Amethyst Emerald Burn list, otherwise known as the Specie Special, or my variant of. It just goes really quick. You do not care what the other person is doing, and you are just racing to 20. Super, super, well rounded out deck. So shout out to Specimen or Specie, is one of the UK or EU Lorcana players and casters. Was recently in the LCCC, which is actually where this deck debuted itself and where I wanted to get it from. But it's really just turn 1 slap something down, turn 2 slap 1 to 2 things down, turn 3 get out this guy, and then just play your cards from there. You got Show Me More's, Amethyst Chromacons for draw power, and then Scrooge McDuck and Bommy for the Siphon. Cursed Merfolk and Enchantress for the 2 lore. The actual deck that Specie ran, he did Flynn Riders instead of Enchantresses, but Flynn Riders cost 1 more and you have to, pay extra ink into it, versus an Enchantress, you just, turn her sideways, get 2 lore. And then I have the cheeky one of Ursula to try and get a You're Welcome or something out of the hand so that they can't affect my ink caster. I've been running this deck on the app that shall not be named, and it does pretty well. It actually does really well into a lot of the Amethyst Steel decks, surprisingly enough, and almost basically any of the ramp decks, the Sapphire decks, just because they go too slow, and this just races to 20 so fast. Especially with 4 copies of Gathering Knowledge of Wisdom, that's 8 lore right there. The White Rose, 4 copies of, that's another 4 for 12. And then Honey Marins is another 4 for 16, just when you play this gain lore. So there's that. If I go up against any Amethyst Ruby deck, I'm going to have a hard time. That deck beats this deck out pretty well, just because it can just take it out so quick. And Cheshire Cats are the bane of this deck's existence, unfortunately. So we will see how it goes. The reason why I went with this deck is because it cost me $16, including tax and shipping, to put this deck together, with also, my collection of cards that I had. So, it's a really cool way to introduce myself to the competitive meta. Really fun way to experience one of the entry level, competitive events, being Set Champs. And if I'm so lucky to even get, a top 8, then that would be really cool. The foil Daisy Duck actually looks really cool. I do run a Sapphire Steel Detectives deck that they would go really well in. So actually super stoked that I'm getting a participation one regardless. But yeah, I really like this deck. I like how it runs. I don't know if it's going to be my main deck, but it is going to be the one that I'm taking to the Whispers in the Well. Set Champs and upcoming in January. So, I hope it all goes well. I have zero expectations because I've never done a Set Champs, so I don't really know what to expect. I'm just planning on having a really good time. If any of you guys are going, good luck to you all. And, if you feel comfortable, just drop in the comments and in the chat and what decks you're running or what you want to run, what you're thinking about running. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for checking in and happy questing.